Hello friends, welcome to another video. Today's review is Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. So I can get that without a glare right away. I like the cover. If you look, you can see the coins are falling from silver to gold. It's hard to do this on camera. I can't see what I'm doing. Silver to gold, which is kind of nice. That's what the book is about. It is basically kind of a Rumplestiltskin retelling, but it's nothing, it's not exactly like Rumplestiltskin. So obviously there's a girl who can make gold out of silver. I will read the little description here for you and then I'll explain more. Miriam is the daughter and granddaughter of moneylenders, but her father's inability to collect his debts has left his family on the edge of poverty, until Miriam takes matters into her own hands. Hardening her heart, the young woman sets out to claim what is owed and soon gains a reputation for being able to turn silver into gold. When an ill-advised boast draws the attention of the king of the Sterek, grim, fey creatures who seem more ice than flesh, Miriam's fate and that of two kingdoms will be forever altered. Set an impossible challenge by the nameless king, Miriam unwittingly spins a web that draws in a peasant girl, Wanda, and the unhappy daughter of a local lord who plots to wed his child to the dashing young Tsar. But Tsar Myrnidus is not what he seems, and the secret he hides threatens to consume the lands of humans and Sterek alike. Torn between deadly choices, Miriam and her two unlikely allies embark on a desperate quest that will take them to the limits of sacrifice, power, and love. This book was multi-layered and just amazing, to be honest. I love the writing. The way it's similar to Rumpelstiltskin is the silver to gold. The original story of Rumpelstiltskin is, if you haven't heard of it, is a girl who claims she can spin straw into gold, and a goblin or elf, I can't remember exactly, says he'll do it for her for a price. And he does it for her, and she can't pay him back. So he says, I'll take your firstborn child. And she obviously is very upset because why would anyone want to give up their firstborn child? And she's like, how can I get out of this? He's like, if you guess my name, all bets are off. So this is, in a way, the thing is, the girl who can spin silver into gold is just a human girl. And the way she does it is just by making profit. The way normal people make gold. But obviously the Sterek king needs the gold for other purposes, and that's part of the book. He needs the gold for something else, and the secret, the evil that the Tsar is hiding is part of that reasoning. And Wanda is just the peasant girl who lives near Miriam and gets roped into, well, not really roped, I should say. Miriam's family ends up helping her and her family out. So the main characters are Miriam and her parents, the Sterek king, and then Wanda and her two brothers, Sergi and Stepan. And then there's the Tsar Myrnidus, and Irina is the girl, the duke's daughter, who gets married off to the Tsar. And her, I can't remember the word for it. The lady, not her actual mother, because Irina's mother died, but the lady who raises her, her nursemaid, Magra. Those are the main characters. There are a few others, like Irina's dad, and a few other minor characters, other villagers, stuff like that, but those are the main ones. The whole book is written in first person from those people's points of view. Different chapters are from different people. The beginning starts off Miriam, and there's a few from Wanda, and then we have some from Irina's point of view, and there's one or two from the Tsar Marionettis' point of view. I honestly don't remember any being from the Hysteric King's point of view. He's the one we never find out his name. Ever. Which is kind of frustrating and silly, but it's kind of part of the story. I don't think this one's meant to have a sequel. And if it did, I don't know if we'd ever find out his name, to be honest. That's just how it would be. There's definitely chapters from Stepan and Magra and Irina. I don't think Sergei has any videos. Chapters. The whole book is placed in a magical world that is similar to 1800s, 1900s, early 1900s Russia, where the Tsar was still alive. There was no cars. Everyone went around on sleighs. And then, of course, the Hysteric country that can only be reached through magic is a winter wonderland. They are ice creatures. Only winter, only snow. And part of the problem is all of the winter. He's forcing winter to happen into the regular world and putting spring off later and later every year. But I won't get into too many details of the actual plot. You guys should really read it. I didn't notice any serious plot holes. There was a lot of description, a lot of world building, a lot of character building. You see a lot of character development and growth. Nothing serious actually happens until a third of the way into the book almost. It's a bit. I shouldn't say a third. A quarter of the way into the book, there's a bit. It's just story building at the beginning, which some people find boring, but I honestly, the way she wrote it, I didn't find it very boring at all. The way she was building the story. There was a couple minor surprises thrown in, but if you were paying attention and actually looking for those kind of little things, you might be able to predict what was going on with them. Some of them I predicted maybe the chapter before it happened, but I wasn't trying to. I don't like to do that. If you watch my videos, you know that. I like to read the book. I don't like to try and dissect it too much. Maybe I picked the wrong career choice by doing book reviews when I don't like picking apart the stories. That is a little too late for that, isn't it? I wouldn't say it had a lot of strong emotions when I was reading it. I definitely had emotions. At the end, there was definitely happy emotions. But I wouldn't give it a lot of strong emotions. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm trying to... It was just interesting. I don't know how I could say that without giving off emotions, but it's true. I was happy, and there's some spots that made me frustrated, but I didn't find it giving me strong emotions anyway. That's just me, though. Other people might find it a little more, but again, I still really enjoyed it. The plot was well paced. Well, I mean, it started slow, but then it gets faster as it goes through the book. The characters developed well. There's sort of two love interests in the book. There's Irina and the Tsar, and then Miriam and the Hysteric King. But it is PG-13. There's nothing romantic that happens. They just talk about it. They talk about bedding and stuff like that, but there's no detailed scenes or anything like that. It's all closed doors. I actually remembered to look up and write down books that it kind of compares to. Someone said it compared to The Night Circus, which I can understand with a bit of a conflict in it, but I mean, a lot of books have conflict. And the way I would say it compares to The Night Circus with the world building and the descriptions, for sure. It compares to The Bear and the Nightingale with the Russian fairy tale vibes going on. And so Night Circus is by Aaron Morgenstern, and The Bear and the Nightingale is by Catherine Arden. And then the other one it said was by Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher. And I actually have that here as the next book I want to read. And this one is supposed to be a dark fantasy. So I'll read that next. And when I read it, I'll be able to tell you exactly how it's similar to this one. Probably in the writing style. I got that and this from my library here in Stephenville Crossing. This one not Stephenville Crossing, in Stephenville. I requested it and it came in the mail to my library and I went and picked it up. I would recommend it. I seriously loved it. Total 4 to 5 stars. Exceeded expectations. Writing is great. Plot is very engaging. Characters are complex. I really, really loved the whole story overall. There was very few parts that I wasn't fond of that didn't flow with the whole story and the whole vibe. I found it page turning. I read it fairly quickly. I doubt it'll be a reread, but I definitely recommend it. Highly, highly recommend. Check it out. Especially if you like retellings. Like, it's just a classic story. The Rumplestiltskin is a classic childhood story. And it's an interesting twist on it. I'll let you decide how you think. And let me know in the comments if you've read it and if you agree with me or not. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And I will see you later.